This week's Parshat Shelach, is known for the famous story of the Meraglim, of the spies being sent out. Chumash tells us in source number 1, Hashem spoke to Moshe saying, "Send forth men, if you please, and let them spy out the land of Canaan that I give to the children of Israel. One man from each of his father's tribes shall you send, each one a leader among them." Moshe sent them for the wilderness of Paran at Hashem's command. They were all distinguished men, heads of the children of Israel were they. And these are the names, from the tribe of Reuven, from the tribe of Shimon, and list all the names of the different spies. And then at the conclusion it says, once again, these are the names of the men whom Moshe had sent to spy out the land. And obviously the repetition we must learn something from. And then it says, Moshe called Hoshea, son of Nun, Yehoshua. So in the very same pasuk that repeats that these were the names of the people, it mentions that Moshe changed the name of Hoshea, who was from the tribe of Ephraim, his student, to Yehoshua. And as the Mefarshim point out, this is Stone Chumash in source 2, notes on the bottom, Rashi brings down, Moshe added the letter Yud to Hoshea's name, changing it from Hoshea to Yehoshua, so that his name would begin with the letter of Hashem's name, the Yud and the Hey. The Hebrew name Yehoshua means God save or God will save, which signifies that Moshe prayed, may Hashem save you from the conspiracy of the spies. Ka Yoshiacha me'atzat Meraglim. Now, when we look at this story, and we've studied the story for many years, Baruch Hashem, Mirz Hashem will study this story for many more years. The obvious question, which the Shilei Pinchas articulates so beautifully, and this, my friend, is the question we ask basically in every parsha. V'nei yadua u'mefursam klal gadol b'Torah. It is well known. Ki mikol irua shebatara tzarich lomod lekach diskav b'avodat Hashem. From everything that happens, we need to learn what does it mean for me in my avodas Hashem. Sharei b'chlal zeh hi nikrei Torah milashon hora'ah. That's why it's called Torah, Hora. It leads a person. Ke'alenu lomod lekach hora'ah b'avodat Hashem mikol od mikol tag. From every letter, from every crown, there's what to learn. So his question is, then what is the lekach that we can learn, us simple people? Ma kishalon hagadol shel meraglim, from the downfall of these great meraglim, tzaddikim, these holy people, Nesiei Yisrael, princes. Kedei lishtamesh bo b'chayenu hayom yom, that we can apply to our daily lives. Which means, in simpler English, ma haya shoresh hakishalon. What was the root of their failure of the meraglim? So from this, we're able to understand not to fall into that same trap and make the same mistake. So question number 1 is, what is the lesson that we can learn? And within that lesson, he's adding a much more specific question. If we can somehow be able to pinpoint what their downfall was, so then we were able in our own lives to make sure not to repeat the same mistake. That's question 1. Question 2, which is a very fascinating question, is why is it that Moshe Rabbeinu sees it fit to change Hoshea's name to Yehoshua? If he really is worried about, which it seems from the Farshim of Rashi and from Chazal, that for whatever reason, and Mirz Hashem will talk a little bit further down, perhaps why, Moshe Rabbeinu is afraid of the influence that will be had on Yehoshua, so daven for him. Just like our rabbis tell us that Kalev daven by the Kivrei Avot, Vayavo at Chevron in the singular. So Moshe Rabbeinu could have davened for a student. Why was it necessary for Moshe Rabbeinu not just to daven for Yehoshua, but to mamish change his name? What is the whole idea of a name change? What is that all about? That he mamish has to put the Yud in front of the Hoshea, that Hashem will save you, and it's almost like a future thing. That Hoshea being saved, Yehoshua, Hashem will save you in the future. Why was it necessary to mamish change his name? And again, as in all of our studies, there are myriads of approaches to answer all of these questions, and their implications bring us in many different directions. We always try to focus on just a few, but that's obviously not an exclusion of others. The other preface I'd like to begin today is that we're going to be talking about a topic which is very personal to people and very charged for people as well, and that is the whole idea of names. And whatever we're going to say here today is obviously, we never talk about halacha, Jewish law. That's not our purview at all. And there's obviously many different opinions, and clearly we're not trying to say one idea again to the exclusion of another. The shiur's purpose today is just to arouse awareness, and if anyone has any particular or personal issue, so they should speak to their local rav about any specific issue, and that is our yardstick to go by in every single shiur. Having said that, let's begin our study. Let's answer our question right off the bat, our second question. Moshe understood that there's great significance in the name of a person, and it can serve as a strong force